When most people talk about love, we immediately think somebody outside of us, right? We immediately think what's missing. We immediately think perhaps a great love that you have for somebody else. This morning, I was reading one of my spiritual texts, and I was reminded of this really powerful truth around love that most of us are not thinking about on the daily. When you think about love, when you think you're going to watch a video about love, when the topic of love comes up, what are the first couple things that come to mind? What's the first thing that comes to mind? I would offer that the first thing that often will come to mind for many, maybe including myself too, is where is my love? Like the partner, the relationship I'm in. Do I have the love? Do I not have the love? Is there love in the relationship that I'm in? If I'm not in a relationship, where is my love? Or maybe you think about the love you didn't get. Maybe there's an unrequited love. Maybe there's a love that you're aware that you're have a wound around, right? There's all these ideas about love. And the thing that's missing, that's often not the focus, that's not the center, unless you're reading like a spiritual text, is the awareness of love that is you. That you are the love, that you are the love, you are the loving. Even if you don't feel it, even if you don't feel like it's with you, even if you don't feel loving, maybe you feel things that you think are the opposite of loving. The loving is always you. It's just whether or not you are in the awareness of it. You cannot become more or less of something that you already are. You are a walking energy of loving. Even if you've piled all kinds of stuff on top of it, even if things have happened to you that have had you disconnect, even if you've done things that you're not proud of, even if you're judging yourself and you feel like you need to do something or be something or say something, and then you'll have love, then you'll be worthy of love. There are no requirements on the truth of love. All of that has been made up in this earthly plane. All of that has been made up in this 3D world. There are no requirements. You cannot become more of something that you already are. I love this metaphor when someone said to me, it's like water cannot get more wet. You cannot become more loving. You can become more aware that you are the loving. You can become more connected experientially of your loving. You can understand or get to know more about your loving. You can learn more about what it means for you to receive and express your loving. You could share more your loving. All of those things are likely true for every single human walking the planet. But you cannot become more loving. You cannot become more of what you already are. You are not a human with a soul. You are a soul having, using, and learning from your human experience. My mic was upside down. I hope it heard me okay. Yes, you cannot become more of what you already are. That's a choice to be in that recognition. I'm at the beach and I'm not too far from the airport, and there's a lot of planes happening right now, so note to self. So any misunderstanding, let me put it this way. If you are sitting with this idea or belief that you have to do something to become more loving, to become more lovable, that's probably also how we think of it. If you are living with the understanding that your love, your loving, your lovability is affirmed to you, confirmed to you through others, through another's acknowledgement, through another's affection, through others seeing you and hearing you. All of that is important. As a human, the ego, it needs that. That's part of why we came here. That's a huge part of this human experience. is to be in communion, is to be in community, is to be in connection. That's very real. And it's not predicated on your lovability. Love is an inside job. And the irony is that this is the challenge we experience over and over and over in this human realm. It becomes like this thing that only some people know. And it's just, and ultimately, it's a recognition. And even though it might feel intellectual at first, start there. Because often, and many people do, you can spend your entire life in the pursuit of something that you can never get outside of you. You can receive all of those things I mentioned, yes, but they will actually never satiate the desire and the need that you really are coming from when you don't feel, when you don't know that you already are the loving. It won't ever satiate it. It might give you a temporary experience. It might even give you euphoria. It might give you beautiful moments, but it's not lasting, because then you'd have to be receiving something all the time or often enough from somebody who's trying to figure out the same thing for themselves. So I'm going to share something with you that you can practice, that can bring what I've just shared with you, and it will help it become more tangible. And this is what inspired me to want to share this today, is because I was reminded, I think it might have been one or two sentences in the text I was reading, and it essentially was reminding me that love is your barometer. If you decided to use the experience, the feeling of love, of your own loving, of the loving that you feel, that you can feel, if you decided to use that experience as your barometer for everything. And what I mean by that is, when you're making choices throughout the day, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to love or further away? Does this create the experience of loving, or the opposite? Does this decision help me feel more the love that I am, or does it detract? Does this person create feelings of loving? Are they mirroring back to me the loving that I desire, that feels good to me, or the opposite? Does this situation make me mirror back to me the loving that I am, or not? Will that choice bring me closer to loving or further away? You see what I'm getting at? It's such a powerful barometer. And where it can be really powerful, and this is how I experience it, is that I essentially grew up in a home that how I related to it was to, much later in life, become acquainted with anxiety and being anxious, but how it really revealed itself in my younger days, all through my 20s and 30s, was depression. Was a sadness, was a negativity. And that, there's no closer thing to get you to cancer than allowing negative thoughts to rest in your mind. There's nothing regenerative about it. Negative thinking, negative spiraling, negative ideation, any of those things, all that does is create more of the same. And it can absolutely, and does, trap an entire lifetime. So, and it's difficult. It can be really difficult to break away from that if you've been doing it a very long time, and if that's what was modeled to you or some version thereof. So that question of, is that bringing me more loving? Am I feeling the loving when I engage in that? Fill in the blank. Let that be your barometer. Because when you start to anchor yourself in that loving, when you start to practice that, when you start to anchor yourself in that question, even if initially it feels very intellectual, if you start to decide to connect with yourself in that way, to let that be a guiding question, that is how you build a muscle to create something different. And what happens through that exploration is you become more aware of what does actually create loving in you. What's going on when that makes you feel love? Because that's unique to each person in many ways. So knowing that is so powerful. That's like knowing what type of blood runs through you and brings you life. It's like knowing what kind of gas your engine needs. So asking that question as often as you can. Put it on a sticky in your bathroom, in your car, at your desk, wherever you spend a lot of your time. Often when I'm trying to reconnect myself to something, to break a mental pattern, I will put it as the screensaver on my phone. I have to mix it up because, everything becomes normal after a while. But it's about having those little moments, those things that help us interrupt what we're used to doing so that we can become more connected to what we're supposed to be doing. And what I mean by that is what is for your highest good. Anything and everything that reflects to you. What did we do before airplanes? We didn't go very many places. Whatever reflects to you, you're loving. That's what you want more of, because it's just mirroring back to you what is already in you. It's not giving you something you do not have. Nobody can give you loving that you don't have. And here's another distinction that I'll add, and I think I'll do a different video about this as well. Every relationship lives within you. The feelings that are created for you within any relationship, they are your feelings. They're the feelings that you created as you were being in relationship with that individual. The thoughts that you had, the sensations that you felt, what you made all of that mean, how you metabolized it. That's your loving. That's your experience. And even when that physical person is no longer with you, that loving is still with you because it's yours. It belongs to you. So I invite you to consider asking yourself this question and just see what's revealed to you. Is that choice going to bring me more loving? Is that choice going to bring me more connected to my own loving? Is that decision going to create more feelings of loving within me? Does it bring the feelings of loving inside of me just thinking about it? And I'm not saying you have to feel like some idea of romantic love. Love is a verb. It's an energy that you get to define. I certainly don't want to define that for you, but I can tell you this. It's a derivative of peace, joy, vitality, energy. So the next time you start thinking that you don't have love if you're not in a relationship, or you don't have love because your parents did not do a great job making sure that you knew that, because they didn't get it either. You cannot give what you did not have. Period. End of story. And now you get to decide. You get to heal yourself. You get to choose yourself. I promise you, nobody will ever see you or love you like you can. Nobody. My name is Jennifer Herrera. If this landed, if this resonated, I'd love for you to subscribe, join me here on this journey, support the channel. But I appreciate your time. I hope this supported you, inspired you, encouraged you in some way. Until next time.